Just like that. That's how quickly it loads. So today I want to talk to you guys about the PlayStation 5 after 3 months of use. What's the experience like? What are the pros and cons? And what are some of the cool features that this has that Xbox and PC does not have? So let's just start with one real quick. So right off the bat, if you go to search or you have to do a text, I'm able to use motion in my controller to select text. So like it's kind of like a Wii remote. You can also use your touchpad. You can touch the touchpad and then press down to select a text item. And that is the most useful thing when you're trying to text somebody or in game or some on Discord or whatever. This is the most handiest feature I've seen on PlayStation. The next thing I want to talk about is the storage capability. So just recently I took out a drive. Let me turn this down. I took out an extra drive in my laptop. It was a Gen 4 SSD, but it was not compatible with the speed of the PlayStation 5 officially. However, because it was Gen 4, it was able to work, and the capacity was about half a terabyte, so it was able to work just fine. In my experience, all the games work right. I played all the games on the SSD, and there's no real difference. The speed is like 5,000 megabytes when it should be 7,000, but it still works just fine. It's really good. Now, for Xbox's solution, you're supposed to get like a game card and put it in the back of your system to say it gives it space and storage, and you have to pay like ridiculous pricing. For this, I just found an old drive that I had, and it just extended the storage. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like if you go down to storage. Now you can see my console storage, I have 848 gigabytes. Now previously on my Series S, I had 365 gigabytes. This is about 3 times the size of storage just on the PlayStation 5. Now let's go check out the M.2 storage. Now I have 512 gigabytes of storage, and I have over half a terabyte of games on this SSD, and it works amazing. I didn't have to pay for this. I just had an SSD laying around that I don't use, and it worked. Now it cannot be a Gen 4 SSD, no, Gen 3. That's too slow of a speed, and also it has to be more than half a terabyte of storage in order for it to work. Now keep those in mind, but you can really get cheap drives if you look for them on good sales. Could be anything like SN S750 and or SN S770. If you look for, keep your eyes out, you can get a really cheap drive. I could see that SN740. This is not the SN850X. This is just a very lower drive speed. It's not intended for gaming at all, but it still works. And I put this through serious use. I've had no slowdowns with my games. So let's go through the actual games I have on this drive. I have Battlefront 2, I have Disney Speedrun, I have some PlayStation Plus games, monthly games. They're actually much better than Xbox. Now I want to talk about that. Even though the PlayStation Plus monthly, the subscription is versus Xbox is $60 versus this is like I think $80, is much better value. For the $20 you pay, that extra money is used towards getting actual PS5 games. Like as you can tell, RoboCop Rogue City, there's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. These are all games taking full advantage of the PS5 hardware, and you get them for free as long as you stay subscribed to PS Plus. Now, the way I got PS Plus for cheap is I use Kinguin. Now, don't recommend that for everybody, but if you're looking to get like a good deal, then that's what I used. I got Black Ops 4. Everything works just fine. And then on my main storage, this is what I have. I have like Sonic Colors, PS Plus game. I have Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. Watch Dogs Legion, High on Life. That's a PlayStation Plus game. Really enjoy that. Ghost of Tsushima, very nice game. Dragon Age the Vanguard. This has mixed reviews, but my experience is kind of fun. Usually I'm not into fantasy RPGs, but like it was interesting. Sackboy, of course, like Little Big Planet. Hogwarts Legacy, the famous Harry Potter game. Of course, we got Final Fantasy Remake. This is something that's not on Xbox at all. And Infinity Nikki, oh my god, this game is very underrated. It's free. If you have a PlayStation 5, get this game. It's worth it. Like they don't really push you with all the paywalls and everything. It's a nice story game. It's really beautiful. And yeah, the rest of these are just PS3 games. So now let's go over to my game discs. What do I have in my library? Alright, so let me turn up the lights here. So I currently have a Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Oh, I have GTA, of course. I have Call of Duty Black Ops. I'll tell you how much I got each of these for. This I got for $10 because I paid GameStop Pro membership, and I was able to get like 10% more of my trade-in. This also was included in the fee itself. So for $25, I only paid $15, and it also included this game's cost. Then on here, got this for $2 at GameStop, and literally $2 with tax. This is I got it with my monthly credit. Really good. That's actually a pretty decent game. Even though it only has multiplayer, it focuses on what's long term. This is a Watch Dogs Legion. I liked it when I played it on PS Plus Extra. And that's I got for basically for free. It's under $5. So I just PlayStation GameStop Pro members get $5 a month. And it's like you can go and just buy a cheap game under $5. And this is one of them. I'm saving more money just getting the games themselves versus renting them on PlayStation Plus Extra. And this is really good. So I got that. This gives you a free upgrade to the PS5 version. And then this one was a $10 upgrade to the PS5 version. I got this for $3. The complete edition, even though this is not the full edition, if you upgrade it to the remaster, you get all the DLC. Then this I got for $20 from Facebook Marketplace. This I also got from GameStop for $4. And then this game I also got for like $20 as well. Really good game. And then Sackboy, this I also got for $20. So yeah, all of these games I got for pretty cheap just by going to the used market, which is hugely beneficial if you are a game collector. And I'm starting to make a little collection now. So now let's go over here onto my PlayStation and talk to you about the features. Let me grab my controller. Let's go over here. So this is like my full storage of games. Now, there's some downsides to everything in life, and one of them from Xbox is you cannot run emulation in a sandbox environment, which Xbox lets you do. It lets you boot up developer mode for $20. Unfortunately, you don't got that here. Another thing about the PlayStation, there's no web browser. So if you try to even if you try to send your friend links, they will try to suspend your account. Like they are serious about not letting anybody open links, and that's probably because of hacking problems on the PS4. And so yeah, this is my let's go to my media here. So I got my Infinity Nikki photos, Horizon Zero Dawn. Also, another really good thing I like is that I can go into the broadcast and I can actually stream to YouTube. It allows me to stream to YouTube, which I couldn't do on Xbox. And I prefer that over Twitch because after a certain amount of time, it just doesn't just delete automatically like on Twitch it does. So it's like a convenience. So like if I'm ever like I want to go watch an old recording of what I did, I can go just find that. I don't have to like sit there and try to re-upload it to YouTube for my YouTube audience to see it. So those are like the big pros and cons. I like the UI. Like you can go switch to menu here, and you can search any item on the actual like media. Like media is Spotify, Apple Music, anything like that. And so that's the really good thing here. It gives you one place, one UI to see everything on YouTube, on Netflix, an easy access panel. Like, look at that. That's very cool. And so I really much prefer this UI versus Xbox. I think I think if Xbox tried to do this approach, they would have had there are people would actually say their UI is good. But over time, I feel like the UI has gotten worse on Xbox, and that's just unfortunate. You know, there should be competition in the space. Because if, for example, PlayStation is getting more expensive and they can get away with it because nobody is competing with them. Xbox sales have gone down, but their prices have remained very consistent even during the tariff pricing. But PlayStation 5 in Australia or any other like Europe is about $50 to $100 more in cost. So let's talk about pricing. So when I got this console, it was right in the January of 2025. Now the reason I decided to get it kind of out of the way was because GTA 6. They're going to release the game this year. But the thing is it's not going to be what we think it's going to be. It's going to be maybe a month or two before the actual game comes out. So everybody's like, the game's going to get delayed. And that could be the case. We'll see if the investor call coming up in May says that. But as of now, there's no official delays. So people need to calm down. Let these game companies cook. Another thing I want to talk about is the pricing. When I got this, I paid $320 at GameStop. And now people say GameStop is a ripoff and not this and that. I disagree. I went on the market to try to sell my Xbox Series S, and everybody was selling them for $120. Now on Back Market, which is a very reliable site, their offers were just $145. Then I went to GameStop. Their pricing's $165. Now keep in mind that is store credit, but I had the intention to buy a console at a bundle price, which is $420. And so what I did is I got the GameStop Pro membership, so my trade-in is 10% more valuable. I get the free games every month, $5. And also, so basically I got the Series S for $210 with tax. So they gave you $165. And then I used that money to go and purchase the PlayStation 5. And that ended up costing me $320, including the GTA game, which is additional $10. Now, if you keep that in mind, that may sound a bit expensive, but that's almost $150 off. And so I got the bundle, and months later, I ended up selling the little bundle thing, the Fortnite card, for $20 on Facebook Marketplace. So the total cost was $300. And you have to keep in mind, I got triple the storage on my Series S. I got a better controller, more access to PlayStation games, a new, bigger audience to play GTA 6 on, the better graphics, is that is more powerful than the Series S, and it's just an overall better gaming experience. And so that's the real reason I got this machine. And I'm very happy with it. The fact that I was able to upgrade my storage for free. You can't do it on an Xbox. I had a random SSD laying around that I don't use. And it just works. I plugged it in, it just Gen 4, it's half a terabyte, and it works. It's marvelous. I didn't have to pay that. Now, if you try to buy an SNA 50X, okay, that's like $100 some. Now, the Xbox game storage expansion cards are also like $120 some. But if you just have a used SSD laying around, it may just work. And guess what? It's free storage for your PlayStation 5. And it's marvelous. Also, as you can see there in the corner, it's able to do voice commands. So one of the things I love about this controller is the ability to do voice and talk to people through the controller itself. So I don't even need to use a headset. Like, I stopped using my headsets over there. The reason for that, PlayStation has integrated it into the controller along with the mute button. So I don't think that's on Xbox. I have an Xbox controller. So you just hold that down. Everything gets muted, even the audio on your TV. It's just a much more superior controller. The joysticks, I have little caps on here. And I'll show you, let me get a little better lighting so I can show you what that is like. So you can see the joysticks here. These are using custom grips I found on Amazon for $10. And it keeps a slim profile but maintains the quality of my sticks over time. So it not only improves my aim but also maintains that quality of the sticks. So over time they don't just go bad. And I can, if these wear out after a year or two, you can just buy more of them and just replace it. So here's that mute button, as you can see. That's on an Xbox. I find it very handy if you need to quickly mute yourself. The PlayStation button's right here. The audio is right here. You got the touchpad that you can tap and move around stuff with. You got the adaptive triggers. You got the integrated battery in the controller. You don't need you don't need AA batteries. And this plugs straight into your PlayStation 5 and turns off automatically. So if you put it in rest mode, it'll charge it fully, then it'll shut it off. So it won't overcharge it. So overall, the experience of PlayStation 5 is superior to Xbox, and I highly recommend anybody to get into the ecosystem. That is, if you get a good deal. If you're a budget gamer and you don't have much money and you're just looking for a nice system that can run anything, then get a PC. A PC can play all the Xbox games, even PlayStation games, and free online multiplayer, which people pay for on these consoles. So at the end of the day, the best bet is just to get a PC. And, people may say it's too expensive. And they could be right. But I got my computer from Facebook Marketplace for, what? $400. And then I upgraded the parts for some $200 some in total. And that's 32 gigabytes of RAM, and that's a full 2 terabyte SSD. So everybody's different. If you are able to do your homework, research, you can get a used computer for cheap. And I recommend anybody to do that. Always do your research on each of the parts of a computer and see what is the overall value getting. Does it have DLSS? Does it have AIF scaling? That's huge when you're trying to buy a PC nowadays. You have to also kind of consider some games only require a GPU that supports ray tracing. So like an outdated GTX 1060 may sound appealing on Facebook, but I'm telling you it's a bad deal. it has 4 gigabytes of VRAM, which is not good. You gotta look for a card that is up to date, maybe 2080 or 2070, 3050 or 4050, something where it's more modern and supports ray tracing, so that you have more variety of games you can play without limitations. So that's my recommendation if you're looking to just not get into console space. And it makes complete sense. I have both a PC, a VR, and a PlayStation. And that's it. That's my review of the PlayStation 5. Really recommend anybody get into it. I love it. The controller is much more superior. As somebody who is used to the old layout, I kind of prefer the 2 sticks in the middle. It takes some getting used to, but it is great. And that's my review. Thank you for watching. Peace.